Hey everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And you know if you're sitting there right now, I've got an expert coming to you. But today we have a mega expert. See, this guy is a friend of mine. He's a financial wizard, I'm going to say, because he told me things on the last episode of the show that I went, is he right? And then it happened. They're talking about recession. They raised the interest rate 6 times. And he said all this months ago. So what's coming next? We're going to find out because Chris Naugle is here. So sit right there. We'll be right back.
Hey mate, do you want to play with me? Dude, I can't play right now. I'm doing show notes.
Hey, yeah, right now it's November 2022, and we're all going, well, is it going to get worse? Well, things are starting to get better. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe, all this craziness will end, because it's right after the elections. I don't know about that. So you know what I did? I called my buddy Chris. Hey, Chris, are you out there?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being on, man. We won't cover exactly what you do because you've been on before. You guys go look. He's been on a few times. Go check out what this man does because we only got this many minutes to talk about what's coming. Is it over or is this recession thing really going to hit us?
No, it's not over. And a lot of people think it is because they're seeing the markets going up and they're like, oh my God, it's been a couple of weeks. The markets are going up. We must have hit the bottom and we're going up. Stop. If you study history, you'll see this happens every time. And let's not forget, midterms are happening right around the corner. Why do you think things are propped up? Why do you think the news says the things they do? It's all in an illusion. And I'll tell you something right now, it's not going to continue to go up. And if you really studied the things that are just logical, you would see that where we're going is actually right back straight down. And it's going to get a lot worse.
Okay, I'm nervous now. A lot worse, meaning, keep your house you got. Don't, get rid of your credit cards. What do you mean a lot worse? Should I be batting down the hatches right now?
Well, I think everybody needs to get their house in order, if you will.
Okay.
So you really have to look back, and this is hard for people because we've been in the longest bull run in history. I spent a lot of years, well over a decade in Wall Street, and I've seen other recessions. And right before a recession happens, people just are going about their normal business. Things are hanky-panky, everything's just rosy. Right now, things aren't exactly rosy because you got hyperinflation. They're not going to call it that, but it's pretty much what it is. You got the Fed doing everything they can to destroy inflation, which means, and they even said it in their own words, there might be a little bit of pain. That means we're going to destroy the economy and the stock market along with it, but not until we're done with these elections. So that's what you really need to understand is these things the Fed is doing. They're raising interest rates at alarming rates. They're unwinding their balance sheet, sucking money back out of the market at a tune of $95 billion. That's unprecedented. And all these things on top of everything else, you're seeing weaknesses at the top. All the big tech companies, IBM and all those companies are laying people off at record paces. They're freezing hiring. If you had a 3-legged stool, we've already lost 2 of the legs. The only leg holding this economy and this market up, if you even think the market's up, is unemployment numbers. And we're losing that. And we're going to start losing it really quickly because employment's been great through the summer. Travel's been up. It's been revenge summer. Everybody wanted to go out and travel because we've been locked up from COVID. And now that's going to start slowing as we enter the winter season, quote unquote, winter season.
Right.
You need to understand that. So what's going to happen is things are going to unravel and get bad really fast as we start losing the employment and unemployment numbers are going to start going up because there's really not that many jobs out there. It's just the timing. And if you look at the indicators that you should be like trucking and transportation and railroads, you're seeing major problems right there. It always starts there. You can't focus on real estate and all these things. They're lagging indicators. So what I would say is, get ready. It's about to get bad. And for some, it's going to be the biggest opportunity of their life. For others, it's going to be one of the it's going to hit them like a Mack truck at full steam ahead. And it's a scary fact of reality.
So let me ask you, when you start talking about recession, and I mean, middle class, I grew up middle class, right? So middle class is almost gone anyway. It's kind of getting squeezed out, right? So how hard is this going to hit the remainder of what we call middle class? What's going to happen with us?
Well, probably pretty hard, because if you think of the middle class, a lot of the middle class's wealth is built in their real estate, their house, maybe they own some rentals, which are highly appreciated right now. You're going to start losing that. So that's going to start going down. Real estate will start losing value by a simple mathematical equation. You can't raise interest rates, have 30-year mortgages peak over 7.5%, which really isn't that high, but it's high for these times, and expect real estate to keep going up and up and up. It was a false reality. We were in a low interest rate cycle for far too long. And therefore, everything that people are now accustomed to, like rising asset prices, I don't care what assets you're talking about, those are about to go the opposite direction. So that's going to hit middle class. Where middle class is really going to get pinched is middle class has also amassed a lot of debt, especially in the last year. So as they've racked up those credit cards to go experience life, kudos to them, I get it. But while they've done that, the debt is the number one thing that crushes a household and a family in a recessionary period. So if you want to start somewhere, get your budget in order. I mean, spend time doing your budget. Make sure you've got more than one income streams, because, hey, there's going to be mass layoffs and people will lose their jobs. Hopefully it's not you, but have plan B. And most importantly, focus very heavily. Cut out all the stuff you don't need and focus it all to paying down debt. Lowest balance to highest balance. That's the way to pay it down. And if you go into this thing with debt, I don't know, good luck.
So we're right in the middle of the holiday season. Christmas is a couple of weeks away and all of that good stuff. And, we're known to go a little bit nuts in America for the holidays. We spend way more than we should. And I know I can speak for my grandsons. They pretty much love the wrapping paper more than the toys and stuff we spent money on. So what's your advice going into this holiday season before we go into the new year?
Well, the advice that I would have is a little long past. We always should be saving. You should go to your bank, open a separate account, and save up a Christmas fund. You've always heard that, right? Where's your Christmas account or whatever? But most people don't do that. They just fund it out of income. But what if that income's gone? It's not going to be a very Merry Christmas. So going into Christmas, really focus on things that mean something more than just the number of presents. Because I'll tell you, you're not going to want to go overboard this Christmas, because going into that winter season, Christmas might be the last hurrah we have before we enter some really, really tough, dark times. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here, folks. I'm really not. I got nothing to gain by it. I'm not selling a doom and gloom book. Read my book and you'll learn all the things to do. I'm telling you the reality of the situation. So I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to help you get ready so that this is an opportunity, not a travesty for your family as we enter into this thing, because there's no going around it. There's no soft landing. I'm telling you that right now.
Everybody knows I'm really transparent, and you and I met at an event called Secret Knock. And the first time I saw you speak, I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, finance, be your own baker, whatever. And then you started talking and I was like, what did he just say? Who is this guy? And now that, it's been over a year since I met you, and it's like every time I get a chance to hang out with you, have you on the show or run into you at an event, you leave these little nuggets. And if you pay attention, man, oh my goodness, you look down the road and go, I should have listened to that guy. I should have listened to that guy. So pay down your debt, right? Pay down your debt, batten down the hatches. Now, what about the new year? You said have a second income, maybe have a second job, or maybe start another business. Is this the right time to think about starting a business?
It is, because in a recessionary period, there's a lot of problems that are going to come up that need solutions. So go out there and figure out what things you're good at, things that you know, like, and understand. Focus all your time and energy on figuring that out, and then figure out what problem it solves. The bigger the problem, the better it is. But don't think about the problem it solves today. Think about the problem it can solve in the future if everything started to fall apart. And if you got something that will solve a problem, make people's lives easier, heck, even simple things like budgeting tools that people are going to want that maybe right today they don't, those are the things that could set up that secondary income. There's lots of ways. I don't mean go get a second job and never see your kids. I mean, think about what you like to do and maybe dabble in it. This would be the time to do that. But the debt thing, I can't stress enough. Like, before anything else, look really long and hard at your bad debts and start getting those things knocked out. Because if you don't, there's nothing that a second income is really going to help you with too much, because you're not going to be able to support the debt load that you've created while times are good. And this is a common mistake most people have. I got tons of videos that talk all about the things you need to do, but that's priority number one.
Well, I already saw the 1 minute timer go by. Can you come back next month and we'll go a little bit deeper? That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd be happy to give some tactical things that people need to be doing with their current assets, their 401ks and everything else. Because I think that's another thing that's on people's minds. Well, what do I do with all the money that I have that I'm losing on? Well, that's really important to focus on right now. But you should have looked at the exit, but too many people focus on the FOMO and the temptation, and that's what got them into this trouble. So let's hit what you can do on the next show.
Awesome. How do they get in touch with you, Chris?
Yeah, it's easy. Just go to chrisnaugle.com or any social media platform at the Chris Naugle and focus on YouTube, because that's where all the good videos are.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks for hanging out. I'm looking forward to talking to you again next month.
Looking forward to it as well.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. I hope you really paid attention to this episode. If you didn't, go back. Watch it again. If you did, go back and watch it again. He gave so much great information to help us get through what's about to come. When you get ready for a storm, you batten down the hatches. We're about to have a financial storm. And if you think we're already into the eye of the storm, something tells me we haven't even gotten started. It's just a lot of wind right now. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Go to tigodirect.com and type in Chris Naugle or finance. You'll find him there as well, and it'll connect you directly to him. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time. Go back and watch it again.